In Victorian London, Charles Dickens became the most celebrated author of his age, a voice for the poor, the forgotten, the downtrodden. But there was one story he could never tell. A secret so shameful he buried it for over 20 years. This is the story of the 12-year-old boy who disappeared into London's darkest corners, and the trauma that shaped the greatest novelist of the 19th century. It was February 1824 when 12-year-old Charles Dickens' world collapsed overnight. His father, John Dickens, was arrested for debt. He'd failed to pay a £40 baker's bill. As punishment, he was sent to Marshalsea Prison, the notorious debtor's jail in Southwark. John Dickens was locked away behind these walls, and in a twist that seems almost Dickensian itself, his wife and 3 youngest children joined him inside. Entire families could live in debtors' prisons, sharing cramped rooms, surviving on charity. But not Charles. At just 12 years old, he was sent to stay in lodgings nearby, alone. Each day, he'd visit his family at the prison, watching them trapped in this nightmarish situation. Then came something worse. Charles was sent to work at Warren's blacking factory just off the Strand. His job was to stick labels on jars containing boot blacking polish. For 10 hours a day, he repeated this monotonous task. For a boy who'd dreamed of education and respectability, it was utterly degrading. Imagine it, a sensitive, intelligent child working alongside rough factory boys, his hands black with polish, his ambitions seemingly crushed. He worked there for an entire year. That factory window became his prison just as surely as Marshalsea's walls imprisoned his father. Meanwhile, at Marshalsea, John Dickens remained surprisingly cheerful. His motto in life was, "Oh, something will turn up." Dickens would later immortalise his father as Mr. Micawber in David Copperfield, that eternal optimist who declared annual income £20, annual expenditure £19.19 and 6, result happiness.
Annual income £20, annual expenditure £20 and 6 result merry.
John Dickens actually said that. And something did turn up. After 3 months in Marshalsea, John Dickens' mother died, leaving money in her will. The debt was paid, the family was free, but Charles wasn't. His mother, Elizabeth, insisted he continue at the blacking factory. Even after the family's release, she wanted the income. It was his father who finally rescued him, but only after seeing Charles sitting in the factory window, visible to passing strangers. That betrayal by his mother cut deepest of all. His parents never mentioned that terrible year again, never acknowledged what they'd put him through. The shame festered inside young Charles like an open wound. For over 20 years, Charles Dickens told no one, not his wife, not his children. Only his friend and biographer, John Forster, finally heard the truth. And even then, the pain was still raw. But Dickens did tell the story, transformed into fiction. David Copperfield's childhood suffering, and little Dorrit, born and raised in Marshalsea Prison, her father unable to face the world beyond those walls. The prison that shaped Dickens' childhood became the prison that haunts his greatest works. The 12-year-old boy at the blacking factory window never truly escaped. He became the man who wrote for every forgotten child, every debtor, every person trapped by poverty and shame. Charles Dickens' secret wasn't just his story. It became ours as well. For more historical stories of high emotion, shame, tragedy, and sometimes humour, please subscribe to my channel, Scandalous London. See you again soon. Bye for now.